Monty, can you
Mother
do me a
man.
favor? Monty.
Who bringing us in?
Monty.
You gonna bring us in? Monty don't want to be our.
No, I just want him because
he doesn't want to do that anymore. He said he doesn't want to do that. Can you put a little bit in here for me, please? Monty said.
Because
Monty said, now that I'm engaged, I'm part owner in this bitch. Period.
Hold on, let me fix my hair.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Kings in Conversation. We are so excited to be back. We had a week off.
No, we didn't have a week off. Mike
had a week off. That's true. I was in San Juan.
Mm-hmm.
And,
how was that?
San Juan was amazing. It was beautiful. The weather was nice. It didn't rain until it was time for us to leave. So we enjoyed good weather and we had fun.
Okay. And what happened?
What happened? So during our past episodes, y'all have heard me talk about, the boo, or, the cutie, or my fave. But I'm actually able to say his name now. I'm officially engaged to Mr. Lamont Huffman. So I'm super excited about that. I asked him and he said yes.
Did he say yes or hell yes?
No, he said yes to my surprise. Seriously, because I was like, oh my God. I was like, he is going to say no to my whole ass. He going to be like, you too hoish. No, wait till you calm down. But he loves me for who I am, so I'm excited.
Oh. Well, once again, thank you guys for tuning in to Kings in Conversation. I'm Enrique.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Mocha.
They act like they don't know the
And we are super excited because we have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful special guest. And I'll give you a little bit of history about him in a minute. But Mr. Tramel. And you all probably know him from G-Status ATL Hustle.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
So we're so excited that you're here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate y'all because y'all actually moved around y'all schedules for me. I wanted to say that. Thank you.
Enrique is the one. Because we said...
y'all said hell no.
We said...
They always said no. I always have to fight for folks.
You do.
I appreciate it. I truly appreciate you. They didn't want to fuck with me and they didn't want to give a bitch a chance.
They ain't that. They don't want to change their schedule.
I understand, girls with no job.
Shit.
Want to give them girls a chance.
Oh, yeah. So, we have Tramel here. So, we're going to be reviewing episode 6, part 1 and
2.
Yes. Of G-Status.
Yes.
And we're going to get his take on a few things. We're going to make sure that we promote his music as well because we want you to know that he's not just on G-Status to be there.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that because on previous episodes, people have called him boring. And I've defended that. Well, we've defended that and said that he's actually there for the business aspect, the hustle aspect. So his hustle is his music as well as his hosting.
Right.
So we want to
I'm not going to lie. I said he was boring. I did say that out my mouth. I did say that.
But no, you clarified why you said it.
Because I knew that he is about business. He's not with the drama. I did say this show is built for drama, and you're just not giving it. Now, according to some of the previews, I don't know what you about to give, but up until that point, you've been all about your business. But before we get started, I will say this: when I used to do YouTube with everyone knows Mr. Ty Couture, you were one of our first guests, and I remember you came over. You were so nice. You were so kind. And you did a great, great interview. One of the reasons why I was able to defend you on a past episode about you being a whore or not is because not one time have you ever given me that vibe. And most of the time when people get around me, if they hoish,
he gonna find out.
I will find out. You got discernment for hoes now.
Let me tell you, it's a gift.
He's a hoe whisperer.
Oh, God. I felt that.
It ain't whispering. It's really loud.
Right.
It is really loud. It's not whispering.
But listen, y'all know my hoeing days are almost over. That does not mean I believe in monogamy. That believes that my hoeing days are almost over.
It was the almost for me.
Yeah. It was the hoeing for me.
Okay. So who wants to start with all the questions? Because Mocha, why are you looking at me like that?
No reason. No reason.
He's rocking this new dude.
Yes, Mocha.
I like it.
You look amazing.
Do I?
Yes.
You're like a 12-year-old boy, like you're still in high school.
Don't say
You look
that.
young.
You blushing?
You look
Oh, like
innocent.
he's blushing.
I want to ask a question though. Is it true that like they say your energy is in your hair? Do you feel like free of a lot of things?
Yes. That's why I cut it.
And you can actually tell if you
watch
the
energy
show,
is
like he's
different.
smiling more and everything. So
it
he's released some energy.
Ooh, you had to let some shit go.
I did.
You
Crazy.
got let go.
No, but you do. I told you this off camera. You look saved. Hiya.
How should I tell when I own a Thunder Honda?
It's a Honda.
Yep, tie yellow bow tie.
But listen, before we get into the questions, I do want to say this. I want to give a huge shout out to Miss Nene Leakes, who made an announcement this week that she is no longer going to be part of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Nene, we're going to miss you. Everything about the Real Housewives is built on the back of Nene Leakes. Y'all don't have to agree with me. This is just what I saw over time. I believe Escape got back together because of Nene. I believe she gave Candy the platform. None of these people would be who they are right now if it wasn't for her. Y'all can disagree. I'm just saying I want to give you that shout out because you are the queen. And I hope that they will always remember that.
So, getting into G status. Because Mike will go, y'all know. To the left. But no. So, getting into G status, I think that we were at our guy's birthday party.
Right.
And that was kind of the focal point of how everything was transpiring. I do want to send a shout out to Charlie for putting together a auspicious event.
Did. It was
if you
nice.
don't know what auspicious mean, I don't either. I just heard the word. But no, for putting together an auspicious event and making his best friend feel very special.
That was nice.
And for actually inviting the entire cast, which somebody sitting next to me was not present.
Why weren't you there?
I was at the party.
He was there.
I was talking shit.
Oh.
I want to see what his
But wait a minute, what?
face.
That's right, you were there.
He was there.
He was there.
You know what?
He was definitely there.
I was there.
We gonna talk about it. Yeah, he was definitely there.
Talk about it.
That's right, because you really tried to break up the fight.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead, Mocha, because I want God to use you.
Yeah,
when I tell you I want the anointing to fall on you right now.
Okay, so cut that out. So you saw the whole conversation between Lando and Akeem.
Yes.
Okay.
Everything.
Now, you're standing back watching all this, okay? And I kind of know from watching the episode how you feel about hitting women who are of trans experience,
right?
But what were you thinking at that moment when you looking at the two of them talking and kind of going back and forth and because Lando's your friend, so you already knew what happened, right?
Right.
So what were you thinking about Akeem as he was sitting there trying to defend what he did and trying to make it seem like it was okay for him to did you see any logic in that at all? Or
no, I honestly I saw he was being very disgusting, to be honest. The things that he was saying.
Who we talking about? Akeem?
Akeem, okay. Yeah. He was saying things that were very transphobic to me, and saying, "Oh, she don't bleed every month." That's things that people say when they try to diminish someone's character, and he was trying to diminish her character at that point. And it just seemed like it was just it was all over again, for me. And I was just dude, transphobic, for real, because people try to explain it away for him, they always try to make excuses for him, and I was just at that point, it was just oh, I see who you are, really.
Let me ask one more question. So, what Delicious did and what she said about her and
Charlie.
How she, pulled out and bent them over and screwed him.
And nutted on his
back for $40-50.
Yeah.
You don't think that somehow that diminished herself, as being a transgender woman? Because a woman or a person who lives themselves as a woman, they wouldn't say those type of things or represent themselves in that way. So do you think that that's kind of what Akeem, that's where he was coming from when he was saying how, she didn't act like a woman and she don't carry herself like a woman, so that's why I did what I did? I mean, how do you feel about that?
Well, honestly, when it came to that particular subject matter, I wasn't really privy to that because I wasn't around when she actually said it.
Right.
You watched the reviews.
Right.
Okay.
Right. You were inside at your event.
Yeah, exactly.
I was inside at my event, and I wasn't
what was going on, really.
Yeah, I wasn't at the
barbecue.
cookout as well,
Right,
so I wasn't privy to most of that information.
Okay.
To be honest, so even still, with that being said, of course, her diminishing her own character, I wasn't speaking on her as a person. Like, she is who she is, and she will have to deal with things on her own. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to Akeem and the things that he said, he has to be held accountable for the things that he said as well. Because it's not just about Delicious. It's also about things. I'm speaking on everyone in the trans community, not just her as a person. Right. It's just like, okay, you can say what you want to say, directed at Delicious, whatever you want to say. But when you start to say things like, she don't bleed every month, that's directed towards a whole community.
She can't have a baby.
That's true.
She can't have a baby. Those are things that you say about a community, not just one person. So whenever I read someone, you know it's directed at that person. It's not directed at the community. Exactly. I never go for the community. So that's where he in my opinion.
In your opinion, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I understand your argument, and I do.
Oh no, it's not an argument.
No, I know.
How you felt.
Yeah. So when you say that things, I mean, of course she did those things. She said those things. So she has to deal with those on her own terms. But when it comes to the community,
the reason why I brought it up is because I'm finding that that's what a lot of trans women do. They want to be respected as a woman. They want to be treated as a woman, and we do that. But a lot of times I'm finding that they want to talk about dick. They want to talk about the extras. They want to talk about how they did this. They want to call people sissies and butch queens and da-da-da-da-da. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I asked that, because a lot of girls, they do that. A lot of them don't, but I know a lot that do. And to me, it kind of, waters down what you're standing for if you're going to do that,
But at the same time, you got to understand the position that they're in, because they can't go and get like a regular corporate job. They have to do certain types of sex work to actually make money. I know of other transgender women who actually have to do those things to make money. So to speak on those certain type of things, even though it is not, the best representation of who they are, if it's true to them, then
I hate to keep going there. Right. So you think in 2020, with trans women on TV and on HBO and on cable,
I got so much to say,
that they're having a hard time with working in the job industry today?
I mean, they can't go and get a job at a bank or anything like that. I'm talking about
why not?
Trust me.
I know trans women that work for Bank of America. I know a trans woman
who worked for a bank for a number of years, and then she became a flight attendant. It's how you carry yourself that carries you over. Now I'm going to jump in.
Go ahead, because I'm taking up too much time.
That is my drink.
I went to Longhorns. Well, I go to Longhorns to eat like 3 times a week all the time. Okay. And this transgender young lady was in front of me, and she was talking to the hostess about a job application. And when she was speaking, I'm standing behind her and I'm on my phone. I wasn't paying attention. But when she turned around, she had a mask on, so of course you can't really see. But she had on stretch pants, and the front area was a little bit much.
Yeah, like mine. Mm-hmm.
So and I'm really I didn't want to speak on this because I don't want nobody trying to crucify me, because as I've said in previous
this is your truth, your experience.
I've lived a life, so you can't ever
come for you
when it comes to doing those type of things. But she had hairy arms.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna say she wasn't as effeminate as she should have been.
But
she presented herself as a woman.
Right.
So I'm saying that because you're saying they can't get jobs. You can get a job. It's just that when people come to see you, they have to see woman. It has to be without a shadow of a doubt that that's what you're presenting. But a lot of them take these steps, these half steps, to get to where they need to be and to look the way they need to look. But because they identify with them, that in their heads, they're thinking we're supposed to accept that. And you don't have to accept it if I'm going on what you're presenting. Right. So that's basically what he's saying about.
But then my argument is, like, what woman, these days, because we live in the city girls culture, like, what woman actually present themselves as a woman? Like, even cisgender women.
And what is presenting yourself as a woman?
What is that?
Well,
so, when I say that,
it's definitely not a bulge.
I know what you mean.
But the thing is, like, it's a little bit harder for them, even in this culture of city girls and get money type shit.
And Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, Megan Thee Stallion. It's just like, what woman actually carries themselves as a woman? They fight niggas, like, I'll fight a nigga like her. You know, they listen all in the rap music, and all girls is like, I'll fight a bitch over my man. You know, this is like not very ladylike, to be honest. So, you know, it's just like already like a step back for them. And it's like there are, of course, exceptions to the norm. Rule, every rule. But like on a whole, like the quickest way to get money for them is to do sex work.
Right.
Well, that's for anybody.
Right.
I mean, you know me, I do lip sync shows, and that's easy money for me.
Hey, that OnlyFans anointing is all over here.
Oh,
Go
Lord
ahead.
Jesus. So, we're going to move on. Because we don't want to make this episode about, you know.
About her.
Yeah,
but I do have a question, though.
Right, go
ahead. Do you have a personal issue with Akeem?
Do I have a personal issue with Akeem? I didn't at first, but he did text me after the episode.
Okay.
And then explained to me that he did not like that I called him a clown.
Which you did.
I did.
That's what I'm saying. That seemed more personal.
Right, but let's go to the first episode when he actually ran my ass like a motherfucker. Like, he said some very disgusting things about me. So me calling him a clown was a compliment, actually, in my book. Honestly, because the things he said about me, like he talked about my teeth, he talked about calling me promiscuous. He said that I don't do anything, like I'm a do-nothing ass bitch, and I just come around and just suck up the energy in the room. I was like, damn. And you know, he actually called me and I tried to apologize.
Did you accept it?
I told him I was going to read him. I said, oh girl, you said those things about him. He's like, yeah, I said those things, but you know, I admit it. I don't like that.
Okay.
Don't play
behind
with
closed doors.
Right, but when I spoke on him actually acting like a clown.
Right.
And me calling him a clown was an actual characterization of him.
Oh,
whereas he
like
felt
Joe Biden did for Trump on last night.
Right.
Okay.
Like you were acting like a clown.
Right.
Like I know the reason why you did the things that you did.
Right.
I know what the reason was coming from, you know, what you did.
Right.
But yeah, I called you a clown. You're mad?
Do you think that he had a right to take that shoe, which in my opinion was a weapon, away from Delicious? And do you think when he took that from Delicious that she had a right to hit him?
I think that she was not talking to him. So why would he grab her shoe?
But she made statements to everybody out there.
But he was behind her. So he running up on her, grabbing her shoe. And if you even wanted to grab her shoe, that's fine. Grab her shoe. But don't complain about the consequences when she attacked your ass back. Like, that's my whole thing. Don't grab nobody else's property. Don't initiate the first move when you're not ready for the consequences.
It almost gives me, like, if a group of people were around and I was the only person and they were about to jump me and everybody was like, but no, we're going to fight him one-on-one. But he grabbed her shoe. So at that point, I go into defense mode.
Right.
And it's like, I don't know if you're on her side or my side. I don't know what you're trying to do. So he probably should say, hey, Delicious, can you give me your shoe? Can you give me the shoe? Because it's a weapon. But by him not doing it and grabbing the shoe,
he did try to de-escalate.
No, he did. No, man, I couldn't.
How did he try to de-escalate?
He did.
No, he tried, but I think that after so many times of hearing that word, and you have to understand that the climate that we're in right now, after hearing that word, that N word so many times, they're being thrown around so loosely, at some point you just click.
And let me be clear, because somebody said this. Whether it was in a DM or something, someone said, well, you know, do y'all think that Delicious should be canceled? In my heart, I don't think that Delicious should be canceled. The reason why is because I've made some decisions and I will never be canceled. And y'all heard that?
Yep.
Okay. And because I don't care if I got to build the mother platform myself. I will build it out of toothpicks. And I don't care how long it takes. I will climb the ladder and jump off the diving board myself. I will never be canceled. So I don't think that she should be canceled. However, I do think that there is a consequence for your actions when you do things that greatly offend people. And then when you get offended, like I did not like that scene between Delicious and Lando when she was like, oh, no one called me. No one came and made sure I was okay. And for Lando, who wasn't there to have a comment, you know, Lando, I love you. I'm super excited about all your projects. And he already said he was in a dark place at that time. For him to automatically take her side without even seeing the playback, how did you feel when you saw that playback? Because honest to God, and I'm going to be honest with y'all, most of y'all show was boring. No, I'm not. I'm just being honest. except this particular scene. Now, I see in the next coming weeks, y'all got a whole bunch of shit going on. But I love how Ja built this. I will say that. I love how he built it up to this. How did you feel when you saw that playback?
Well, I already knew. I already knew what the real reason was why he attacked her. It wasn't because of the N-word.
So then you tell me why you believe he really did that.
Because he wanted to grab her shoe and he wanted to have a moment. Honestly, I was in this for a whole year.
Okay.
Nobody ever said anything about her saying the N-word. It was always about him grabbing her shoe. He apologized to her. Why would you apologize to somebody who's a racist? And they were friends afterwards.
Well, I mean, we live in a time.
Honestly, and I'm sorry that that's the case. The N-word stuff is news to me. I'm sorry.
So it was new.
It's become
but when you all were filming,
narrative.
it wasn't a big issue.
No, you don't ever hear him saying in this actual scene that, she was saying the N-word,
right?
So that's why I could understand that.
Okay.
Gotcha. So me being, because I'm an activist. I'm an activist. I am pro-black everything. So if it was really about that, then of course I would understand.
Right.
But it never was. So you will never see me saying, he should have did that, because that's not what
So basically what you're saying that since you guys filmed a year ago and now you're airing the show and you have doing your confessionals during the present time, it becomes the new narrative to make it
because of the climate of our country.
That's what you're saying. But no, that's what you're implying.
No,
I'm
saying
though,
what is
Tramel.
coming from me is that you will never hear me saying, she said the N-word, because she was never around me when she said that. I don't know anything about that. That was never discussed with me, even when I came outside. Huh?
What about when she was performing?
When she was performing?
Yeah. Now I will tell you that I don't like her music, but she's a good actress.
No, she performed like 3 or 4 songs, and the fact that they did
and
that,
they just
it was
cut
just
it right there.
And I liked her music. I liked her set. It was actually cute, and she was actually working the whole crowd and stuff like that.
For it.
So
I gotta pat my weave.
That's really sweet of you to say. Itching. So, you think that Lando hitting Akeem in the face with the cake, you think that was justified? You think?
Well, he already told me he was gonna do that.
Oh,
1 minute.
Wait.
Go back.
Wait.
Did you see them have a conversation where Lando said that it wasn't going to get physical?
Mm-hmm. Did I see a conversation?
Did you hear a conversation between Akeem?
That's why he had to cut the cake in his hand. He said he was going to hit him with it. He said if he gets disrespectful, he's like, I'm going to hit him with this cake because I want to have a conversation with him, but if he say some stuff out,
Lando did say he was in a dark place at that time.
So that's
because I'm telling you now, if I have a piece of cake in my hand and I'm in front of a certain person, I'm hitting them with the cake. So, period.
It was dumpster cake.
Say to
he wasn't eating that.
Say to a
wait a minute. It was cake pulled out the trash.
It was out the trash can. Like you didn't see how it looked. It looked disgusting.
I was wondering why he wasn't eating it. I said, wait a minute.
Daddy had a whole spoon in. I don't even know if that was his spoon. It was somebody else's
spoon. Okay, so you break up the fight. You.
Let's be clear. I didn't break up the fight. He had ample opportunity to hop up off that thing.
No, Lando ran.
See me.
Lando ran.
Yes, he did.
He did not.
That's what they showed.
Okay. Yes, he did.
And that's fine.
He smashed him with that.
He had
time.
No, he was standing at the bottom of the stairs where Akeem was like standing there. He actually paused, and then I got up and stopped him. So he could have got to him if he really wanted to. But he didn't want that problem. I don't think. Honestly.
What do you mean when you say that?
I don't think he's really ready to fight like somebody bigger than him. So he's kind of small.
Is Lando bigger than him?
Yeah, Akeem is small.
Have I not ever met Akeem?
Akeem is like 5'2".
Short. Yeah, he's short.
You know what? When Ty interviewed him,
him and Delicious are actually the same height.
Yeah, he's very short.
So if you know Delicious and him are the same height. So that was an even match.
Okay.
So yeah, she kind of beat him up.
No, he's short.
Unfortunately.
So let me ask you this: this is just a yes or no? Should trans women be allowed? Should any woman be allowed to smack a man and not expect a return hit?
Honestly, I don't feel like anybody should be allowed to hit anyone without repercussion. Like, don't hit anyone. Okay. But he started it with her.
How?
I
grabbing her shoe.
Let me tell you something. Me and
I'm
you,
sorry.
You grabbed my shoe.
But see,
I'm sorry.
Hold on. So
grabbing her shoe,
but y'all are
shit. And he did it as a protection.
He grabbed the shoe because he was trying to stop her from using
what y'all
it.
are missing is what Tramel is saying, and of course, everybody that's watched the show knows that I raised Akeem, so I'm never going to be against him, but I'm going to be truthful. what Tramel is saying is that he did it for a shine moment. He did it to get himself.
So you don't think he was really trying to stop her from using that shoe? Okay, I don't know if it was real. People have told us that it wasn't real, but it was a red bottom. And it had a spike at the end. Now, have any of y'all ever been hit with a high heel? My mother used to do that. She would take the end of a shoe and hit. You know what I'm like?
And it can punch you.
Down.
Single white female, she put the girl out.
I don't care what nobody say. That was a weapon. Who won't take a weapon? Like, I'm sorry. If you have opportunity to take it, who wouldn't take it? He didn't. I love you, Tramel. He did not start that. If somebody hits me, baby, they don't even got to hit me. We already know what my triggers are. Somebody hit me, I'm going back at them.
She was already irate because of going through what she had went through with her.
Exactly.
She was already heightened. She was already there. So that was just something that kind of tipped the ice.
Okay, so up until this point, Tramel, you really haven't done a whole lot. You haven't been involved in too much drama. We saw you go out on a date with Ike. How was that?
It was awkward. It was funny.
It looked awkward.
Yeah, it was.
And it looked like you weren't comfortable.
And it looked like it was set up.
Dog, all that.
Damn. Well, Ike is a good person.
Very sweet.
But he was actually the one who was awkward, not me. Of course, they caught the camera and making me look like I was awkward. Yeah, so I was just trying to make him feel comfortable.
So how did you feel when he kept saying little sexual comments like about cakes and big meats and sausages?
Like, I didn't really understand where that was coming from. I feel like he was projecting.
Did you turn that? Was that turned on for you?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. You don't like big cakes and big meat?
I don't like talking about sexual things on camera.
See, I told you he ain't no hoe. Told y'all.
It was kind of it was like a little weird for me. I was like,
I would have been diving all in that conversation.
On the first date? Like,
nothing ever happened.
Sexually?
So nothing ever happened?
Sexually? No,
I'm not asking about sex. Like, no more dates after that? And I'm going to tell you why I asked that. So no more dates after that?
Well, we've not had like actual dates, but we talked outside of the show, yeah.
Did y'all kiss? I'm sorry.
We did.
Ooh, yeah, he was good enough to kiss.
It was a moment though.
What kind of kiss?
Yeah, it was just a thank you for understanding me. I'll tell you about it later.
Was it on the lips, on the cheek? Was it tongue? Come on,
there was no tongue,
but it was on the lips.
Yeah.
All right, because you have nice lips. That's
beautiful,
why.
Gorgeous.
It was no tongue. It was not like passion or anything. It was more like oh, you understand me.
Okay. I'm for it.
Yeah.
Come on.
So lost. I don't know where to go.
No, because the anointing is on Mocha.
There was a preview after the show. There was a preview, a little trailer that showed us what's going to happen, and you were on the stoop with Ike, and you and Roman were going back and forth, and it was real heated.
Yeah.
Two questions I want to ask.
Yes.
Okay. What was going on with you and Ike on that stoop? And why was Roman pissed about it?
Well, me and Ike was talking about the altercation that we actually had. We didn't have an altercation, but we had a run-in with the whole him trying to make me talk to Sherrod,
right,
okay,
right.
We actually stopped being friends for a little minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you cut him off.
Yeah. Well, I didn't cut him off. He was actually mad at me.
You were rude to Sherrod. I will say that.
I was rude to Sherrod.
Yeah, you were.
I don't think you were rude.
I thought you were.
You said what you meant. You meant what you said.
And he still means it. I promise you.
Stood on that, and you didn't want to get involved with the drama. I understood it because that's how I am. When I'm done with something,
let me tell you what it really happened. So I had got a booking for an event for MTV.
Okay.
It was MTV.
Are You the One?
Like 4. MTV like 4.
Like
Are
4?
You? It was called Are You the One? It was
like 4.
I don't know her. So it was not for MTV, but there was a guy.
You're not going anywhere.
You know me and Mocha got a question on 4.
His name was Brandon, and he was on Are You the One on MTV. Right. And Q from Chasing Atlanta.
Q in the Streets?
Yes. Was actually
that's
hosting
where we know him from. We know
Q in the Streets.
Q in the Streets.
Mm-hmm.
So he was actually, he
and Chasing Atlanta, because I don't want the girls from Chasing Atlanta to think I'm shading them. But anyway, go ahead.
He hit me up and he said, hey, I want to, I'm having an event. I'm hosting an event.
I wasn't being funny. I was no.
When did we become the shady Q?
No, I was kidding. Everybody knows that I was on Q in the Streets. That was a joke. It was a joke.
And I was just like, you're not going to say anything?
I met shady bitch. But you had a booking.
Yes, with Q.
A legitimate one.
With
4.
And he hit me up. I hit up.
Go ahead.
Bitch, I'm still high. That's the truth. I was smoking and I'm still high.
Let me get this out.
I'm sorry.
Please. Go ahead.
Believe me, your fans gonna come for me.
Oh Lord Jesus. But production, I hit up production because we're supposed to submit our scenes like a week before, but it was the day before, right? And he was just like, hey, if you are still filming for G Status, hey, tell your production team they can come if they want to film it.
Okay.
I was like, cool. So I told my production guy, because I had a production guy at the time, who I just submit my scenes to. He was just like, oh, okay, I'll let Ja know. So Ja calls me. He was like, well, when did you hear about this? I was like, today. And he was just like, I was like, well, if you can't come, that's cool. I'll just, I understand it's late.
Right.
He was like, no, we're going to come. He's like, did you invite anybody? I said, no. I was like, did you want me to invite people? He said, no, I'll do it. I said, oh, okay. So it was supposed to be just a scene for me to show. I wanted it to be just like B-roll.
Because this was your time.
It was my time to shine.
Because they didn't give you that much time to
shine.
But
they brought in all them hoes. And all them hoes sat there and talked shit and they fought outside and all this other stuff. So they didn't film me doing shit.
Right.
They didn't film me doing the motherfucking thing. I had a booking.
Right.
Like, I really was trying to show me working.
Right.
So, the argument happened, the fight happened, or whatever. Ike comes over to me while I'm inside. Like, twice. Like, 2 or 3 times. He was just like, oh, Sherrod wants to talk to you. I said, I don't want to talk to him. Because I was mad. I was like, bitch, they ain't come to film me doing my shit that I want to do.
Oh, okay.
Now it's making sense.
So now y'all trying to make me film some confrontational shit that we were supposed to, because me and Sherrod was actually supposed to film a scene like weeks ago.
Right.
Like, or we were supposed to sit down for dinner. I don't know. It got canceled like 2 or 3 times.
Right.
For whatever reason. I don't know whose schedule wasn't, I was always ready. Because I always knew we was going to have a conversation because he had said so.
Right.
So I told Ike I didn't want to talk to him. I don't want to talk to him. Not out in no parking lot with no shit like going on. Like, no, I didn't want to talk to him. And he came over again. He was like, well, they really want you to talk to him. I was like, I don't care. I don't want to film shit.
Right.
So I come outside. It's almost time to go.
Right.
And so Ike walks over to the camera like, oh, thank you for inviting me. I'm like, bitch, I didn't invite you. Like, girl, get the out of my face.
So you already had bad energy because they did not do what they said they were going to do.
I had bad energy. And I kind of took it out on Ike, of course, because he was like, with me. Right, and then, I was like, okay. Because Ike was looking at me like, please, what you do? I was like, you know what? You're my friend, and I don't ever want this to be a situation again. So let me just talk to you. Okay, I'll talk to you. So thank you for inviting me. Cool, but I ain't invite nobody else. Oh, I want you to talk to Sherrod. I don't want to talk to him. I told you this already 3 times. This is what's going on in my head.
Right.
So Sherrod comes over. He was like, you want to talk? I was like, girl, let's get this out the way. Let's just go ahead and do this. Right. It was not the conversation that I wanted to have. I was actually already upset.
Right.
I actually want to have a calm conversation with him and actually get clarity, which I will never get. That moment was taken away from me. So what y'all got was, it was a lot of yelling, a lot of screaming, which I never wanted to yell at him because I wasn't genuinely mad at him.
Right.
I was just wanting to understand where this energy was coming from, where, he said he heard that I was a prostitute, and I'll talk more about that if y'all want me to. But that was not the reason I was upset. Not because I saw the clip. It was because people saying, I just heard that he was a prostitute. Even that bitch that was on this couch with y'all saying that, I think he was searching for a storyline. I was like, girl, that's not the storyline that I want. Sweet. Honestly, the energy that was coming from me was you saying you heard I was a prostitute. Okay, that's fine. That happened in 2018. I'd already dealt with that. Cool. Nobody says that about me because I'm not that type of girl.
Right. No, you're not. You're not.
I'm really not the type of girl. I work hard for the shit that I have.
Right.
And I don't have to nobody to get anywhere.
Right.
Okay. So the problem came when I made up with this boy. Well, I actually apologized to him in 2018. Sherrod. I sent him a text message saying, hey, boo boo boo.
Right.
I'm sorry I disrespected you. I don't want to go into the new year, 2019, with no bad energy.
Right.
So we're filming 2019, and I'm working at a radio station, which y'all saw with Hey Mikey. And Hey Mikey comes over to me and saying, hey, my the guy who funds all of my stuff is telling me that, Sherrod is telling people that you're a known prostitute, and I you to be on this radio show, and it's with me. That's about to up my money. So these things are popping up.
Niggas and lies.
Like, most people do not know that was a real thing for me. Like, people coming up to me telling me, "Oh, Sherrod don't like you. Oh, Sherrod calling you a prostitute." Like, it was like a real ongoing thing.
You know what? I
and
know
so
what it feels like to be lied on.
Yeah, that was the energy that's the place that it was coming from.
Rub his leg. Rub his leg.
Don't cast it out.
But that was the energy that I was giving. It was like that was actually part of the conversation. I don't know if y'all saw that it got cut out or whatever the case may be. But I was telling him, like, no, these things are following me.
You
like,
did say
you're really cutting me off at the legs before I can even run. Like, I don't have a name for myself. So you throwing that on my name and you saying that around people is just kind of like fucking with me. And I'm never doing that to you. Like, if I say something about someone, it's always going to be the truth. It's never going to be a lie. I'm not going to make some shit up. Just
nothing what you heard.
Nothing what I heard. It's only what I know. I'm not ever going to talk about things that I heard. Wow. It's going to be things that I know for sure about you.
That's what's
up.
So
him saying those things about me, that's where the energy was coming from. And that's why people are like, oh, you so mad for nothing. He wasn't saying shit about you. But I'm just like, girl, y'all don't really know.
I got to know.
The anointing is on him.
So, come on. What's up with you and Roman?
Yes.
Get it. Because y'all got into it bad. And he said some things, and I remember what he said.
What he said?
What did he say? He said some things, and I just want to know, did y'all ever...
No, we need to know the things.
I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
But I want to know, did y'all ever have any type of rendezvous type situation or...
Any sexual
encounters or anything? Because he said something.
He said some things.
Yeah. And I just...
Okay, so I'm going to say this. Me and Roman,
Who's a cutie, by the way?
We actually hung out twice.
Okay. Only twice.
One time was a date.
Okay.
I took him out.
Okay. I can see that.
I took him out. I was like, okay, I'll take you out.
That's sweet.
I don't kiss and tell.
Okay.
I'm not a kiss and tell type person. That's him. So if y'all get him here, he can say whatever he wants. And whatever he says, y'all can believe if y'all want to. But honestly,
told it.
Yeah, he told
He already told it.
What he said?
But I'm going to tell you this. He's a liar.
Whoa. Child, because right now I'm being accused of being a liar too.
Ate his ass.
Why is he a liar?
Because he's a bottom. So
wait a minute. So all bottoms are liars?
No, he's a bottom. So anything that I'm an old school sissy. I'm an old school sissy. Okay. So what you don't do with bottoms is you don't suck their dick or swallow their nut. You just don't do it.
My head hurt.
And that's old school.
I'm an old school sissy.
That's old school.
And so I'm just gonna leave it there. But honestly, like, I don't care what he says about.
So there's no video.
There's no video.
No picture.
There's no proof.
There's nothing showing that you sucked his dick, swallowed his nut, and he wanted his time, and ate his ass, and he wanted his money and time back.
Oh, let's talk about let's talk about the money and time.
Oh, these are nice.
So
they are nice
because I don't really like the whole thing about the money and time.
I love Roman.
The whole money and time thing.
He's talking.
So
the whole money and time thing was it was actually a joke from me.
Okay.
It was more like.
Were you laughing when you said it?
No, I didn't say it to him, and you would never see this on camera. But he told Lando that I was fake ass bitch, and I was just like, and Lando told me.
Right.
So Lando was like, he's saying you a fake ass bitch and all this other stuff. I was like, well, if he's saying that I'm a fake ass bitch, give me my money back for taking you out on a date. Then you can talk all the shit you want to talk about.
Okay. I'm with you.
I took you out. I was nice to you.
With you
I was nice to you. I showed you kindness. Like I didn't ask.
Right.
I'm not asking for. It was a joke. It was really just a joke.
Right.
Okay.
So when he's saying all this about his money back and stuff like that, it's just like, girl, what are you talking about?
How did you feel when you saw that on the big screen?
It actually really hurt my feelings.
It would hurt my feelings.
Yeah, because I was just like, girl, you gonna go this low to be this nasty to just try to be popular on the show? Because to be perfectly honest, I don't really. He didn't really do anything on the show outside of me.
He was cute though.
So. Why did he get upset to begin with? Because it's like you and Ike were out talking on the stoop or whatever, right? Yeah. And you were arguing with Roman. So like, why did he get upset? Was it because of something that happened or something he saw?
So we hung out like in June of 24. No, June 2019. It was the 14th.
Mm-hmm. Come on with the dates.
Oh, I know the dates.
Oh, now I believe it.
We hung out. We went to we went to dinner. We went to Juicy Crab. Shit, I paid $76.
Yeah, that's a Juicy Crab bill. Juicy Crab bill.
I went to Ike's event the next day.
Right.
about. He had an event that he had, which you will never see, unfortunately. Sorry. Everybody was there, but I mean, not everybody, but just people that Ike knew. So later on that day, after the filming, that I saw Sherrod, and Sherrod was like, "Oh, Roman's having a party and all this other blah 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 blah." I was like, so I called him because we had hung out the night before, and I was just like, "Oh, what's up with this party? Like, I thought you were having a birthday party or something." He's like, "What the you talking about?" and all this other stuff. And I was like, "Oh, production said they was doing." So he got mad at it and was just like, he hung up in my face.
Roman. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
And I was just like, okay. So he called me back like 2 hours later, and he called me. And he was just like, I was like, you hung up in my face. He was like, yeah, I had to get some shit straight. So, where was you at today? I was like, who are you talking to?
After 2 dates?
After one date. But we hung out the time before. But it was one date. So I was just like, what are you talking to? He was like, yeah, I had to get some shit straight. So where was you at today? I was like, I went to Ike's event. He was like, why wasn't I invited? I was like, I don't know. He's like, oh, well, I'm gonna have to call you back. I was like, you probably won't. He's like, I probably won't. And then he hung up.
And that's kind of how y'all fell out.
And that's when we ended. So I saw him at Bulldogs. Yeah, Bulldogs.
I don't.
You don't know?
I do.
I do.
I don't even go.
They don't have shows there. I don't know.
But I approached him.
That's true, because you be showing.
But no, I approached him and I was just like, you got a problem with me? He was like, I got a problem with you. Why you talking to me? I was like, oh, okay. Wow. Girl, I don't give a fuck.
Wow.
But apparently it was something around the fact of he heard that me and I kissed each other. Some shit like that.
I knew it.
So he was mad about you kissing
Nancy
Ike?
Drew.
Yeah, after
I
you
knew it was because he thought that you had did something with him. I just knew that.
Yeah, I guess he was mad about
Do
that.
you and Roman fight
No.
on the show? Do you and Ike fight on the show? Oh, okay. Because the way they was,
I'm going.
Well, they edited all that shit, but yeah. But okay, so that happened in June 14th. So of course we go to Ike's what's his name? Our guy's birthday party.
Right.
We don't speak to each other. He sees me, I see him. We
Right.
don't speak to each other. We move on to a whole nother month, which is close to my birthday, July 26th. And then all of a sudden, because we about to wrap up filming,
right?
So he needs something. So he comes out on me. He's like, I want to talk about the energy. And I'm just like,
okay.
Are you serious?
See.
So, and then that's what you get for the rest of it.
Well, I do want to bring up this point because y'all, we discussed so much and so many things involving you. I want to discuss something that doesn't have anything to do with you directly, but it happened on the show, and that is the $40. The $40. The $40 that was given to Sherrod from Devon's boyfriend.
Dewan.
Yeah.
Who, by the way,
that happened in the episode.
By the way, I did a private interview with Dewan that's going to be released soon, so I'm excited about that. We will get his chance to hear his side of the story as well.
So I know you and I had a personal conversation.
What did y'all talk about?
Oh, nothing.
Damn!
I want to know about that.
I'm sorry. If you want to share, you can. If not, then we'll move on.
I remember.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you feel about that? How do you feel about Dewan and Sherrod hooking up?
I don't care. Ain't got nothing to do with me. That's none of my business.
Who all fights for the rest of this show?
You so stupid.
I want to know.
You want to know who fights?
Yes.
I don't know if you're gonna actually see the fights, but they would involve the last girl y'all had on here, and she got beat up twice.
Oh. Well, we're gonna end this episode.
But before we end, let me say this again. Thank you so much for coming. Let us talk a little bit about your music. Where can people find your music? And tell us about your song.
Oh, my, well, it'll be out by the time this episode airs, I suppose.
Okay.
Let me say that is a very good music video.
But your music video is
for single.
Yeah.
Your single called Single.
Yes.
I really enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So my EP drops midnight tonight, so I guess by the time this episode,
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I worked really, really hard on it. I hope people enjoy it. It's a love story. You know, I'm all about love and peace and harmony.
How many tracks do you? How many songs is on?
There are 6 songs.
Okay,
so
it's called 6-Page Letter.
Oh.
My boyfriend actually came up with it because he was like, I mean, you got 6 songs, so you might as well do 6-page letter. Yeah. I was trying to give a nod to Aaliyah 4-page letter, you know. But yeah, it drops. It's gonna be all streaming platforms. You know, Spotify, Tidal, Apple, all that. So yeah.
So the Versus challenge that you and Carl just did. Can people still go back and view that?
No, they fighting us.
Okay.
Because they don't know that that's our music. So
and let's talk a little bit about that. You do a wonderful, wonderful show with a young man named Carl, and Carl is hilarious, and he is too funny for me. Like seriously. Right. And from the day I met him, he's always been the same. So tell us a little bit about that. It's called The Corporate Mouth.
The Corporate Mouth.
Where did that name come from?
It was actually an interview that we did with the Royal Couch. I don't know if I know about them. Yes. The Royal Couch.
Shout out
one
to
of the hosts at the time. I don't know what they got going on. But I had an interview with him, and I was reading everybody. He was like, "Ooh, okay, Corporate Mouth." I was like, yeah. So he was like, "You reading these girls real corporate?"
Like, y'all do listen on that show. Y'all have me roll. I'll be sitting here watching on YouTube like
it's a mess.
I love it though.
But I want to shout out to Carl because he actually featured me on his project. He has an EP out too, and he actually
Carl does too.
He does.
Yeah. He actually hit the top 40 on the hip hop iTunes chart.
Come through,
Carl. Bunny pussy.
Bunny pussy.
Bunny.
That's why I let you say it. I want to say bunny pussy.
That sounds about right for Carl.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Tramel.
Congratulations to him, and I'm trying to get there. We're gonna see what this iTunes.
Congratulations on Inspire as well.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh,
yes.
God.
Really good job.
Yes.
You like that movie?
Yes. I love the movie.
And the other
know my name.
And the other thing I want to congratulate you on.
Y'all know my name in the movie.
No.
The boy that
you were the
boy.
villain. I know that.
I know, but what was my name?
The boy that killed the boy.
You don't know.
What was it?
What did it start with?
Start with R.
Richard, Randy, Ralph.
Wrap it up.
Rob. But there's one other thing I want to say about you. Then this is just true, and no one can take this away. You are an amazing model.
Oh, thank you.
Now, in person, you're very dorky, but we talked about that. No. We talked about that because it works for you.
Yes,
everybody can't pull off sexy dork. You do, but your pictures, you give this exotic, exquisite look in all your pictures, especially your underwear pictures.
Oh,
you do a really good job.
Okay, so yeah.
No, don't cut me off when I'm talking about draws.
I know. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Kings in Conversation.
Yes.
And we look forward to you guys liking, commenting, subscribing, and turning on that notification bell. Share it. Be very respectful in your comments because, I stopped reading them. I had to stop reading them because I was getting a little mad.
Right. Listen. Somebody put on there, someone said, this is definitely the Queens in Conversation. So I responded and said, put Butch in front of it.
Thank you guys once again.
We appreciate it. Tramel, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate y'all, stepping out y'all box,
Well,
reporting the world.
Thank y'all. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
See y'all later.
Oh, my God.
Years out here on my own. I've been out here hustling, trying to get this dough. I've been staying focused, always in control. And my friends tell me I'm getting way too old.